Leaders, and collegians, get ready for the 2023 International Champion Influence P5 Empowerment Summit. It's a half-day gathering designed to expand and influence the P5 areas: potential, purpose, personal growth, power, and progress. Attendees will leave the Empowerment Summit positioned for success, stability, and sustainability in 2023 and beyond. During the event, you'll get in agreement with your passion and purpose. We'll offer some honest answers about what we're all facing post-COVID and propose powerful solutions that keep us growing personally and professionally at whatever stage of life and career you're aspiring towards. We encourage you to invite your business bestie, friends, colleagues, and peers so that we make it a fun half-day experience of relationship building, learning, and growing. Meet me at Home 2 Suites by Hilton, Charlotte Belmont on Saturday, October 14th at 10 a.m. Just go to thecoachingseat.com/P5 Summit for more details. See you soon. Hello, everybody. Listen, as you come into this broadcast, just let me know where you're signing in from. Let me know who is in the building. I want to properly speak to you. We are streaming from Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So welcome everybody again. Put your name in the chat. Let me know where you're signing in from. I'm super excited because we have a very rich discussion tonight about using what you already have to increase your revenue. And so this conversation is definitely for our business owners, our entrepreneurs, but it's also for people who have been considering entrepreneurship. So let's talk a little bit about it. I am Toyinda Smith. I'm a best-selling author, a business consultant, master coach, public speaker, mentor, and TEDx speaker. I am the principal of the Coaching Seat, and that's a learning and development firm that's in place to increase organizational effectiveness and also improve the employee experience. So I love working with people. Hey, Favor Evidence, God bless you. I love working with individuals and helping to really help individuals to get to their highest self. I'm into economic empowerment. And I just love to see people advance. I'm super excited because I'm also the founder of, Coach Apostle Tracy, thank you for joining. I'm also the founder of the Champion Influence Coach Facilitator and Speaker Certification Program. So we take our time to educate professionals and credential them in the coaching and facilitation domain, as well as the speaking domain. So we do have a speaker certification that you can find more information on our website. But I'm super excited about what this brand is about and what this organization is about, and also the individuals that are tied into this organization, because the organization could not be great without the help of the individuals who have really committed to the process for the Champion Influence brand. And so I'm really grateful for that. So tonight, y'all, let me know where you're signing in from. We are going to be talking about, really using what you have to increase revenue. And we're doing this talk because we're hosting the Champion Influence P5 Empowerment Summit. The summit is on Saturday, October 14th. It'll be in the Charlotte Belmont area, and it is going to be awesome and amazing. I have two of the panelists, the book panelists here with me tonight. And they are revenue generators. They use what they have to increase their revenue. And I'm super excited to get into this conversation. So I am going to invite Coach Nicole Vassar, and also Coach Sherry will also be joining us very soon. So I am going to invite her to the stage in just a second. So Coach Vassar, since you are on the stage, hey, Coach Sherry. How are you? You're on mute.
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be here.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you start off by first just really introducing yourself, and do not give me the baby introduction, because I know you and I know what you're doing. But I want you to share with other people who you are and how you get results. Right? How are you creating winning effects in other people's lives through your services and your products, and really what you stand for. So I am going to start with Coach Nicole. Hey, Coach Nicole.
Hello, I'm Nicole Vassar of Alley Jones Educational Consulting and Coaching. And what we do is help employers get the most out of their employees via training and also performance consulting. So, what does that mean? It means that we get to the root cause of performance gaps and help solution them. We also do instructional design and training facilitation. So lots of things going on. And of course, I am, thanks to Toyenda, a best-selling author and also on the faculty of the coaching master, the Champion Influence coaching program.
Listen, y'all, the coaches, they come with that power. They all listen, they already have it on the inside of them. We just add skills with the Champion Influence brand, ladies. We just add more skills to what you already have. And I'm honored and I'm excited that we're a part of this same network. I'm telling you, it brings me great joy to see all of the coaches advancing and expanding, taking the coaching certification, starting consulting companies, taking the consulting companies and scaling those to innovative heights. I love it and I'm so honored and I'm so pleased. It just does my heart well. Thank you, Coach Nicole. I love the performance coaching. That is very important, especially as you said um, in organizations, corporate space, higher education space is super important. And I believe that that's an area that's really, really, really growing, because the individuals who may not be performing well, they, in essence, are causing the organization not to really make the type of money, right, that the organization could be making. So you are key. And I'm super excited about that. Thank you so much for sharing and joining. All right. Hey, Coach Sherry, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Sherry Jefferson. I am a accountant, bookkeeper, and I help small businesses. Um, um, what do I do? I help small business realize increase their revenue so they can realize profit in their business and profit and scale. So, and I am also a higher education consultant. I have a financial literacy program for college students, and I also have an intensive financial aid workshop. So that's what I do. I in the college space, I'm all about empowering the students to be successful after college. And in the business space, I'm into helping business owners scale and grow their businesses.
Listen, Coach Sherry, if you couldn't get it out, I was gonna jump in there and get it out the way she got my financial books in order for my business. She went 2 years back and then hit me the third year to get me in line. No, I share. So listen, and she had a workshop, I think 2 weeks ago. It was money flowing, the
Money flowing, business edition, financial intelligence.
yeah, that financial intelligence was awesome and amazing. So again, like I said, we have some top-notch coaches included in the family, in the network. And as I said, they came into the organization with some power. So let's get into this discussion. um the discussion tonight, so we're having the summit, and the summit is all about helping entrepreneurs, even collegians and leaders, to create stability and sustainability, right? So we're going to influence and enhance those P5 areas: purpose, potential, personal growth, progress, and power. And you all are doing a panel. So I'm going to moderate a panel with you all, because y'all have y'all books with you. Show those books. Y'all just completed. I'll show mine since y'all don't want to show yours. We just completed this anthology called The Coaching Posture. And with the anthology, not only was the anthology in place to really share with everybody how the coaches create winning effects, with your services, with your story, with your products, but it's also in place for you to create revenue. All right. And so when we get to the summit, this is why people need to get their tickets and get to the summit. We have 18 tickets left. You can go to thecoachingseat.com and just click that link at the top of the page to get your ticket. We have an online audience and also an in-person. But it is about, that book is also about generating revenue. So we don't, in the Champion Influence family, listen, we don't just write books. No, we don't just create anthologies. We create these published works so that we can bring in income into our homes. And then also about 90% of the coaching family are kingdom citizens. And so we fund the kingdom. And we fund the kingdom and we bring money into our home, additional revenue into our homes. And we do that in a stress-free way. So how do we remain stress-free? We continue to maximize what we have. So I want to open up this discussion and just talk about, like, what makes it so important for us to really use what we already have to increase revenue. Who wants to jump in? Okay. So I'm gonna jump in. It's okay. Look, it's okay. I'm gonna jump in, and this will kick it off. So we know that in order, and I do have notes. I wrote out some notes, but in order to maximize a thing, right? A skill that you already have, a published work that you already have, a service that you already have. We know that it maximizing means to increase something as much as possible so that we can make the most money from it, so that we can bring in the most income. Now, listen, we are philanthropists. Like, we give back, we sow seeds into people. So I don't want anybody to get this confused. Money answers all things. The love of money is the root of all evil. So we're not operating from that standpoint. We're operating from, we're going to increase our revenue with what we have. We're going to maximize what we have so that we can answer things, so that we can be an answer. See, I feel preachy, and I got to stay in my corporate space right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in money into our family, especially those who have children. Listen, y'all, if you don't do it for yourself, do it for the kids. If your children are grown and you're not thinking about them right now, do it for the grandkids. If you don't have grandkids, I need you to be able to leave an inheritance for your children's children, all the way down. Okay. So the late Arthur Ashe said, and he was a professional tennis player, but he said, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Let me speak to my awesome legal counsel in the building. Hello, Trezene Atkins. She is my trademark lawyer, and so she trademarked both Champion Influence for me and also the Coaching Seat. Hi, and she's also my soror. So again, Arthur Ashe says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And so I think that individuals have a hard time of increasing their revenue with what they already have is because they do a few things like, I'll do it when. I'll do it when I have time. I'll do it when I have enough money. And I'll do it when I have the support and encouragement of other people. All right. So I'm kind of jumping off this conversation. I have more written down, but I don't want to dominate the conversation. I want to hear from you all just on this topic, and you can go any way you want to go with it. We're talking about using what you have to increase revenue.
We're okay.
Oh, go ahead.
So it got us started, right? We're kingdom citizens, so we know it is God that has given us the power to get wealth.
Mm-hmm.
We know that God empowers us and gives us abilities. So we have what we need to make money. But sometimes imposter syndromes or all these other things get in the way, and we feel like it's not enough. But some of the simplest things, empowered by God, will do magnificent works because I may not be the best trainer out there, but if I'm a kingdom citizen and God is empowering me, guess what? My stuff is anointed.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to do what it is called to do
Mm-hmm.
because if my goal is Him and to fund the kingdom, then it's His at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so that takes the pressure off of me because all I am is a vessel that He is using to fund His kingdom and,
Mm-hmm.
and make His name great. That's all my job is, to make His name great. And if my business does that, then I've accomplished what I need to do. So yeah, He put it all in me. To do what I need to do.
I love what you said, and since we have already gone over into the kingdom space, I'm gonna stay right here in the kingdom. So what our Father gives us in terms of products, services, education, skills, certifications, he gives us the ability, right, to get wealth. He gives us the power to do it. And I believe that our services, our products, the skills are words being sent out of the mouth of the Lord. And we know that when a word comes out of the mouth of the Lord, that it does not return empty, that it does not return void, but it's going to produce, it's going to bear fruit, it's going to shoot up, it's going to blossom where to He sent it. Since you didn't open up the Bible, we're gonna go into it. And so with that, we have to understand, as a Coach Nicole said, we got everything we need. Listen, as it pertains to life and godliness, we have every single thing we need. But in my professional opinion, both from the spirit and the natural, I believe that fear holds us up. Fear holds us up. The fear of the unknown, the fear of being rejected, self-rejection. Okay, let me stop. Go. Come on, Coach Sherry.
You're mute.
Unmute. Oh, wait, I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, go ahead, Coach Sherry.
Give me the topic again. I can't hear you. You muted
I'm
yourself.
sorry. Yeah, so using what you have to increase revenue. So we swung over a little bit to a spiritual side, but you are a
Right.
financial expert. You're a financial strategist. So come in your measure in that way.
Right. So that's yeah. So that's why I was gonna walk into the money side of it, because as Nicole said, God has given us the ability to create wealth. But what are we doing with that ability? Are we really creating the wealth? Because I'm always talking about generational wealth and building the kingdom because they go hand in hand. And are we intentionally building generational wealth by using our books, by using our voices, by coaching, by selling our products, by doing providing our services? Because we have all of that, but how are we scaling that to build generational wealth? How are we planning out over this year how we're going to sell our book and how much money we plan to make on our book? And we have to do that consistently. And then we have to realize out of that book, how many other services or products can come from that one book. So now you're talking about how you can teach other people in a group form about winning effects. So we have to implement what God has given us, because we'll have books, 4 and 5 books, and they sit on the shelf and make no money.
Oh
We
my.
may sell one here and there. So, you got $50, $100, but what about the thousands of dollars? What about saying, okay, I can scale my book to making $25,000 every year, just my one book. And that's the same thing about our coaching service and things like that. God has given us abilities to create wealth, but what are we doing with those abilities? Are we really going to are we going to magnify God and what he's blessed us with by putting it on the shelf? So when that kingdom and when that marketplace meet, we're elevating God in the marketplace because of the products and the services that we have. So yeah, we have it. We have the ability. Now we need to execute it and bring our services to the marketplace, because that's how we provide service to the Lord, is by serving others. So when we bring our services to the marketplace, because they're out there, they're waiting for our services, but they're on the shelf. So we have to move forward, walk in our services and products that we have in order to provide them to the people. That's how we draw people to him.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good. Because he has inspired, he gives us the inspiration to do the things that we're doing, to use what we have to increase revenue. I gotta go back to this. Hey, Mom Apostle, thank you for joining. I have to go back to this. Okay, here's the thing. We are afraid of people rejecting us. I have been there. In 2027, y'all, I was on when I tell you I was on the struggle bus, I was on the struggle bus financially. 25, I moved to South Carolina after my second divorce. And so I was starting life over. I had 2 kids, 2 businesses, right? Starting life over. And I was sitting on the side of my bed, really crying out to the Lord, because I was just, listen, depressed. I was, it was not good. Okay. Dejected, all this stuff. And I was like, I need to, make some money. I need to create some wealth, because when I was in Indiana, y'all, I used to have a balloon decorating business. And so I understand the concept of working full time and then still gaining resources on the side. Why? Because I was using what I had to increase revenue. So brought the balloon business with me, brought my consulting business with me. And then I was volunteering with track and field because I have a background in that. And then the Lord opened up an opportunity for me to become a adjunct faculty at Coker University. So I was teaching public speaking. But as I was moving along, I was like, okay, Lord, this is good. I need a little more money to really make ends meet. And so he told me to create a coaching certification program. And in 2014, I became a Maxwell Leadership coach, speaker, and trainer. And the last thing I said I was going to do was coach. What I said was, I'm going to take this certification and I'm going to speak and train. Why? Because I was used to doing that working at the university. So I'm in South Carolina, crying on the side of my bed, talking about, Lord, I need some more money. And he's like, listen, I done already told you to teach people to coach. Why? Because you're not only going to teach them to coach, you're not only going to credential them, but you're going to create economic empowerment for them. You're going to give them, listen, people say when we move forward, it gives other people permission to do it. So you're going to create opportunities and you're going to be an inspiration for other people to go forth. So for 1 year, this is 2017 now, I just said, they're not going to, who going to buy into anything I have? Who's going to believe me? They going to say, oh, that's Toyinda, the track and field athlete. That's Toyinda, the SG row. That's, they're not going to see me as a consultant or a coach. But you were trained in it and you dropped it. You said you wasn't going to do it. You have the resources. You already have what you need in order to do it. But for 1 full year, I sat and I talked myself out of it because of fear, because of what other people were going to say about me, because of who wasn't going to come into the program. And when I finally stepped out in 2018, y'all, we certified 11. And we're now at 77. We have internet. We've touched down in the Bahamas. We have 3 coaches out of the Bahamas. We did the online program because COVID happened. So when things happen, when the world shifts, we have to shift. That was another way to generate revenue with what I already had. I took the online program, created it into, I took the in-person and created it to an online program. And so then we have two coaches that are from Trinidad and Tobago. But fear held me back. So I'm behind a whole year and I'm trying to catch up. Come on, somebody chime in. Who going?
She's talking on mute.
Oh, Sherry, you're on mute.
Yeah, I said I totally can relate to that, because that was one thing with me. It's like, okay, what are they gonna say? And they're gonna be, look at me strange, and oh, what is she doing, and things like that. But I realized they're gonna talk anyway, so I might as well make money while they're talking. So I said, I gotta step out there and do what God has given me, because He has given me the ability to do what I need to do. And when I don't know what to say, He'll be my mouthpiece. So there's nothing for me to fear, because he's gonna be there with me all the time. And I was thinking, so a time back, I had submitted this proposal, and I didn't even think twice about it. And I submitted it, and I said, if it's for me, it's for me. Got some people coming in, talking about it and everything. So I didn't get the contract, but I was telling Toy, I said, that's okay, because it ain't for me. I said, but I'm just gonna move on to the next. So I could have stayed there and be like, oh, well, why I didn't get it? And and I can do this and I can do that. That wasn't for me at that time. So I got to still keep doing what I'm doing, perfecting my craft and moving on. So I'll be ready for the next, because there's always going to be a next. And I think that fear really does keep us stagnant for years. And until we remove that and realize that God is in control, He's going to direct us to the people that we need to work with, whether they're kingdom citizens or not. And then we just got to move forward. And another thing that has really helped me in my journey and being able to move out of my comfort zone and stretch myself and to build wealth is the divine connection that God has given me. He's given me divine connections, because when you're in this journey, you need people that you can pull from. And you got to be one that they can pull from as well, because it's got to be reciprocal, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So I've learned that too over time, is that building those relationships, whether they're business, personal, whatever they are, those are needed on our journey, in this kingdom journey, because everybody's not going to move like us. Everybody's not going to take the chances that we take, because we know God has already paved the way for us. So we got to just step into what His grace that He has given us. So yeah, that fear does keep us back. But I say I keep moving because of the people around me, and because I know what God has for me down the road.
Yeah, and that's really good. I'm gonna let you come in, Coach Nicole. But Coach Sherry, you make a good point. We can't let fear grip us and stop us. And here's the thing: when we get to the summit, I'm just gonna release all of the information, the whole download that I have on creating revenue from your published work, right? But I can release all of that, and we can have the blueprints for all of it. But we don't start. Okay, come on, Coach Nicole.
As you were talking, one of the things we also fail to do is, while we're small, we fail sometimes to plan for big, plan for expansion. That means you need to make yourself scalable, put things in place. Because what happens is, when there's sometimes when overflow comes, you're not ready for it because you haven't prepared for it, because your mindset is still on the small. And so it's get those systems in place. Just something simple as get you a scheduler if you need that. Stop, if you need to link your scheduler to your Zoom so you're not wasting time doing those things. And so it's focusing. And I know for me, it's been a struggle, because sometimes I'm so busy working in the business that I'm not working on the business. And so it's very important to automate and get help, ask for help too, to do those things that are maybe mundane, or those things that can be done. But make sure you have your payment systems in place, all of those systems in place, so that when things come in, you're ready to handle it. Because you don't want a big contract to come in, you can't handle it because you are not scalable, you're not prepared. So manage where you are, but plan for where you're going.
So can I step in this?
Oh, please, yes.
Look, Nicole, woo.
Wow.
Girl, let me tell you. I said, I was thinking about the same thing when she said it. I'm like, oh God, look at that. That's why I said, when you with the right people, you just flow. And I was thinking about the same thing about scalability. We've got to be able to, when we're getting our wealth, we got to be able to manage it, create those budgets. That way we can know how we need to move as it relates to scaling, what we need to increase on, how we need to do our sales. I say it's so important because we make the money, but we don't know how to or understand how to manage it. And then so we're buying all of these things, but when you put out money, you got to bring money in. So it's so important to do that as you're scaling and having all those things that Nicole talking about in place. You're going to be successful, but we got to, in order for us to build generational wealth, we've got to be able to scale and grow our businesses for our lineage down the line. And I think about it because I have a grandson who's 7, and I have another grandson on the look all boys, and another grandson on the way. But I want for them to be able to have decisions. And I'm going to share this real quick. Warren Buffett granddaughter was on Oprah Winfrey. She said their grandfather don't give them no money. She said, I wish I could ask him for $1 million to help me start up a nonprofit, but he's not going to do that. What he did do, though, he paid for all of them to go to college. While they were in college, she said, I had friends that didn't know where they were going to eat. I had a place to live, and I didn't have to worry about if all I had to do was focus on my studies. He set them up because of how he managed his money going forward. So now all his grandkids, now I have the ability to create the wealth because my grandfather has provided me with that. I don't have student loan debt. I don't have any of these things that other people are having or these other challenges. So it's just certain ways how we need to move. This other one more story. This other lady said she set her granddaughter up by putting them on her credit so that when she get out of school, she don't have to worry about that. They bought her a car when she was 18 so she can build her credit. And when she was second year in college, she gave her $25,000. Of course, they already show how to manage it, just an incentive to keep her going to school. When she graduated, they said that she's going to start at a middle, the beginning tier of the job. So they're going to give her $50,000, just money for her to not have to worry and just go to work and save your money and do what you need to do. Those are kind of things how we set our kids up for generational wealth, because we've already taught them how to manage the money. Now we're at a position where we can set them up where they're not struggling, but they're also building wealth for their future generation.
Yeah, no, that's good. And the fact that their, parents and grandparents wasn't selfish along the way, where they had, listen, y'all, 2020 vision. 2020 vision is not perfect vision. It is clarity at a distance. And so they were clear about their current purpose in life. I've lived my life, and now along the way, I'm still going to enjoy some things now, but along the way, I'm going to make sure, Coach Sherry, that my generation that's 20 to 30 years out is settled and taken care of. And I believe that a part of that had to do with teaching, as you talked about. Like, you can't set them up for generational wealth and not talk to them about, here's a snare that you may run into. This is something you need to consider now. Those types of things. I wanted to say one thing. There is people don't move forward with what they already have to create revenue generating activities or revenue, right? Because they put it off. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna do it when I have. I'm gonna do it when. And you all, there is this law called the law of diminishing intent. Can somebody just put that in the chat? The law of diminishing intent. And so I first heard it through John Maxwell. As I told you, 2014 became a coach, speaker, and trainer with his program. And I believe he learned it from Jim Rohn. Okay, these are management experts, leadership experts. And so this law of diminishing intent says the longer you put things off, the more likely you'll never get it done. I'm going to do it when conditions are right. If my conditions were right, if my conditions weren't right, I would have never started the coaching program. I would have never wrote the first, the second book, started on the third one, completed 2 anthologies. I never would have been able to go to 7 Amazon stages. I never would have been able to get my coaching model into a higher education institution for them to adopt in a large scale statewide nonprofit agency to get them to adopt. It never would have happened if my conditions would have had to be right. I came to South Carolina, I'm in North Carolina now, knowing that I wasn't going to have enough money to make ends meet. But what I knew was that I already had some things in my hands, and I had to use what I already had to increase, right? Arthur Ashe says, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. So this summit is going to help you to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can to increase revenue. And we're going to deal with your mindset, and we're going to give you actionable items. We're not going to talk at you for 4 hours. We're going to give you strategy and tactical solutions to get you where you want to be. But you can't just come to the summit and soak it up and then never wring it out. I'm just going to go to the summit. I'm going to be a sponge. And no, you're going to be a sponge, but you're also going to wring out the sponge, which means you have to do the work. Champions do the work. Okay, listen, it's 9/11. I'm just going to go back around and ask you all, what other thoughts do you have in terms of using what you already have to increase revenue? Coach Nicole.
I think about when the prophet asked the widow woman, what do you have in your house? You have to be aware of what you have. So if you need to take inventory of what, but if you don't know what you have, you can't use what you have. So take inventory of yourself, what you have. Maybe it's people are relying on you for something. You take it for granted. Sometimes we take things for granted. People ask you for advice all the time. That's what you have. You bake the best sweet potato pie ever. That's what you have. You can do whatever it is. You have to know what it is, right? So you need to know what's in your house, know what you have before you can use it.
Yeah, that's good. Listen, Coach Sherry, I'm going to jump over to you. So Nicole talked about knowing what you have. So I'm going to walk through my background and tell you how I've used the things from my background. So number one, I'm a higher education professional. So the skills that I learned in higher education about personality assessments, about managing people, about creating programs, about directing individuals, helping individuals to expand and advance. I use that right now in my consulting and coaching business. So I'm still using what I learned as a little young person in 23 years ago in 2000 when I started working at the university, fresh out of college, wet behind the ear, what they say, and I'm still using what I have. Furthering that, I decided that I wanted to start a balloon company, and this is why I help people. This is why I help authentic people. Because a woman allowed me to go with her to learn how to correctly put together balloons, correctly create decor. And we lived in the same area. So I was going to be direct competition. But we knew, we had an understanding, we don't cross boundaries. We don't underbid each other. We don't do that, right? So I still use that even today. Now, Coach Sherry is getting on me because she want me to scale it. And I'm like, I'm taking a break from this thing. But I could be making more money with the balloons, not doing balloons, but teaching them. It's, y'all, revenue generating activities as a business consultant. That's what I do. Downloads of how to create wealth. The other thing, track and field. So I was a track and field athlete. And guess what? You don't get to be an athlete and not give it back. The coaches gave to me. They built a skill in me. I must give it back. So I began coaching at the middle school level, the high school level, and even the collegiate level. I got income from it. Okay. Not only that, when I left those entities, I'm trying, listen, I hope y'all taking notes because I'm giving you information that we should be sharing at the summit. So not only was I coaching track and field for an individual, when I left that, I decided to do, listen to this, private lessons. So now I don't necessarily have to come to your organization. We're going to go to a track and field location, and you're still going to pay me for what I have, my experience, but it's at a different place. So now I get to control my schedule in that. Not only private lessons, not only private lessons, but I would also do camps for technique building and confidence building, summer camps, winter camps. I would bring in Olympians, national champions. So, y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot that I don't share. But I'm telling you that we have everything we need. If you know how to do anything, you can teach other people to do it for revenue. All right, Coach Sherry, your final thoughts. You got unmute.
Yeah, the revenue thing, man, we just, the bottom line is that we have so much in us that hasn't even come out yet, not the things that we've already produced. And as Toy was saying, and I was thinking about it as she was talking, and I think about my financial and my higher education journey and financial aid and student affairs, and that was not my plan. I didn't know nothing about none of that. And when I met I got my job at Benedict College because I met the person that hired me when I was a waitress at the Olive Garden. And we were talking, and she was like, I need an assistant. And I'm like, what? Okay, because I need another job. So she hired me. But what I can say, God knows he put you in a place, not because that's where you're supposed to stay, but so he can move you to your next. Because he really knew that I was nobody's administrative assistant. That was not my ministry. So I eventually got moved into the financial aid office, and I always say she moved me over there so she wouldn't have to fire me because she knew I had 2 little kids. But that was my journey in higher education. I've been in higher education over 25 years, not knowing anything when I got there, but God knew the journey that he wanted me to go on. When I was at Benedict, when I started working here, I didn't even have my degree. I went to school at Benedict, graduated from Benedict, and had my degree in accounting. Did not know 20-something years later, I'll be working in accounting and doing my bookkeeping and still working in the higher education realm. So God knows what he's going to give us to do that. So by that, created my financial literacy program for college students, my intensive financial aid workshop, and doing my accounting and bookkeeping business. So we may not see it in the beginning, but as we stay in tune to what God has from and let him order our steps, we'll walk into our purpose and purpose where we can create wealth and we can build that generational wealth and build the kingdom as well.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good. I'm excited. I'm going to give one strategy that I'll talk about at the summit, and I'm going to moderate the panel for these women and also one more person. But we're giving strategy. We're going to talk about how to become a monetizing author, not just an author, not just one who created a published work, but to really build wealth and to get profits and income from it because you're thinking outside of just selling the book. So, one thing individuals can do with their books, I wrote this one down, but one thing you can do with your book is have a book club. Now, not only, I'm not talking about necessarily a free book club, right? So, it can be virtual and then it can be in person. If you do it in person, then you all can have some food, you have space, etc. So it can be either virtual or in person. And so the book club, there is a like an entry fee for it. This is a way to create money, wealth, revenue, and then um, people purchase your specific book, and that is the book that we are facilitating or walking through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's important to not only write books where you tell your story, but to also give actionable steps and actionable tools for people to win the way that you've won. So, book club, there's a fee, an investment to be a part of the book club. And then you give people an opportunity to make a presentation or present from a portion of the book that stood out to them. So it's not just you talking about the book, it's not just you walking through the book, but you're giving other people a level of engagement. People love engagement. And so when you are thinking about hosting activities, you've got to engage the people. You're creating activities. So you can create exercises connected to your book that become activities, that become group work, and you give people an opportunity to share. People will come back, they will refer other people so that you are always bringing in income. So not we are going to sell the book, but book club, people pay to get into the book club. You give them an opportunity to be engaged where they can speak about sections of the book that really made sense for them, really stood out for them, aha moments, etc. But then you also they purchased the book to be a part of the club. So hey, Soror, Dana. So that's, we got to think outside of what we may see on the outside. You might only see people selling a book, but there's so much more inside of the book. I have stories after stories after stories and receipts after receipts after receipts of taking the book that's behind me and just expanding that book. And that book is still being utilized right now today. So we're done. We want you to meet us in Charlotte. We're also going to be virtual for the Champion Influence P5 Summit. These are two-thirds of the panel, or actually 2/4 of the panel. No, 3/4, me included, of the panel. We have one more person, but we're going to talk about how to take your published work, how to take your book, and to really create revenue generating activities for it. I'm also going to have a sheet for you. And again, it's not enough to just have your cheat sheet. It's not enough to have your blueprint. You also have to get rid of fear so that you can move forward and do the work. What did Arthur Ashe say? He said, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. So that's how we're going to end it. I want to see you on Saturday, October 14th in Charlotte. Coach Nicole, how can people get in contact with you?
They can get in contact with me via Facebook, also AllieJonesConsulting.com, and also via email, Vassar at, again, AllieJonesConsulting.com, and that is ALEJONE consulting.com.
Absolutely. Listen, when we get off this live, I want you to drop that in the comment section, okay? Coach Sherry, how can people get in contact with you?
On Facebook, Sherry Jefferson. On Instagram, Sherry L. Jefferson. And my website is sherryjefferson.com.
Awesome. And so same thing, when we get off, I want you to just drop it in the comments. Listen, everybody, I am Coach Toyinda, and you can get in contact with me at thecoachingseat.com on all social media platforms. And then you can find our website at thecoachingseat.com. Coach Nicole, Coach Sherry, I am super excited that you said yes, and you committed to this task of, number one, being a part of the anthology, but then number two, agreeing to be a panelist to talk about how to become monetizing authors. I'm super excited. Authors, make sure you all get in the room. There's power in proximity. Can I say that?
Say it.
I learned that from the John Maxwell program, and
Say
you
it.
know they multimillionaires. There is, what did I say? There's
Power in
in
proximity.
proximity. You have to be in the room.
Gotta
You
be in the
have to
room.
be in the space. And again, we're going to give you the tools. You just got to stay connected in order to release what has been given to you. So Coach Nicole and Coach Sherry, I appreciate you all. I do not take this for granted. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to end with the video, and I'm going to remove y'all from the stage. I will see y'all later. Leaders and collegians, get ready for the 2023 International Champion Influence P5 Empowerment Summit. It's a half-day gathering designed to expand and influence the P5 areas: potential, purpose, personal growth, power, and progress. Attendees will leave the Empowerment Summit positioned for success, stability, and sustainability in 2023 and beyond. During the event, you'll get in agreement with your passion and purpose. We'll offer some honest answers about what we're all facing post-COVID and propose powerful solutions that keep us growing personally and professionally at whatever stage of life and career you're aspiring towards. We encourage you to invite your business bestie, friends, colleagues, and peers so that we make it a fun half-day experience of relationship building, learning, and growing. Meet me at Home 2 Suites by Hilton, Charlotte Belmont on Saturday, October 14th at 10 a.m. Just go to thecoachingseat.com/P5 Summit for more details. See you soon. All right, everybody. I'm Coach Toyinda Smith, best-selling author, business consultant, master coach, and TEDx speaker. I want to see you on Saturday, October 14th in the Charlotte Belmont area for the P5 Empowerment Summit. We're dealing with your personal growth, potential, purpose, power, and progress. I will see you soon. Go to thecoachingseat.com. See y'all later.